Just woke up on day 7, Stagecoach Motel, and it's a rainy day. You know what that means. Day 7 is gonna be wet and wild, guys. Let's get this going.
Today is day 7 on the Arizona Peace Trail, which is officially our last day of our whole week off-roading adventure. If you're new here and missed most of the trip, consider going back to our previous videos and starting from day 1. Over the last week, we have explored a wide variety of unique and interesting destinations called Spurs, which are random points of interest branching out from the main trail. Over the course of the last 6 days, we have navigated 800 miles of Arizona terrain as north as Kingman and as south as Yuma. We have traveled through 11 towns, 3 different counties, while exploring abandoned cabins, old mining camps, and ghost towns along the way. Last night, we stayed at a hotel in Quartzsite, and if everything goes smoothly today, we will find our way back to our starting location in Parker, Arizona, where our bumper beer, cold beer, and hot shower with comfortable beds await. If you're not familiar with our channel, Off-Road Destinations, my name is Darren, and with me is my dad, Kirk. After a year of planning, months of preparation, and a week of off-roading, today marks the final day of our Arizona Peace Trail adventure. If you enjoy off-road adventures with some fun facts along the way, then buckle up, because we're on the last day of the most ambitious trip of our lives, and we're bringing you along for the ride. As we pull out of the Quartzsite Hotel here, you can see it is pouring rain, guys. We are doing our best to stay warm. We have our dry suits on. We're gonna head to McDonald's real quick for some breakfast, and then we're gonna go do a fuel stop before heading from Quartzsite all the way back to Parker, which was our starting location. Today's gonna have its challenges. I wasn't expecting day 7 to be easy, but I did think it was gonna be easier than all the other days. So we'll see how today goes, man, but stick along for the ride and we'll see. Dad is quickly learning what gear is waterproof that he owns right now. He's going shirt, flannel, rain jacket, and then some bigger jacket outside of that. I'm not convinced the bigger jacket itself is going to be enough, but we'll see. When you were hoping for no more dust, was this what you were hoping for?
Not even close. Like I said, I think I'd rather have the dust. I could deal with it. With the rain, it can't come off my face. If it comes off, it just comes back on.
I think this is a reminder to everybody attempting the Peace Trail or going to attempt it. You have to plan for everything.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a muddy mess. I will say it's also an advantage of having a face shield.
Do you have your face shield up or down?
I have my face shield slightly cracked so that it doesn't fog, but enough where I'm not getting hit and pelted with raindrops.
Okay.
I will say though, it's always a good day for off-roading, so for that I'm still thankful. I could always be at work. And I will tell you this, guys, it is always better to be off-roading on a wet and muddy and rainy day than it is to be sitting in that office.
As we approach our next spur, this location is often confused with General Patton training grounds, but it is in fact part of the 1964 exercise Desert Strike, which took place after the Cuban Missile Crisis and during the Vietnam War. At the height of the nuclear tensions, this location was part of a 2-week military training exercise that simulated a nuclear air and ground battle, which included 100,000 US military personnel, along with over 900 aircraft and 500 tanks. The exercise was conducted on more than 13 million acres of public and private lands encompassing California, Nevada, and Arizona deserts at a cost of $54 million and led to new tactics for military river crossings on the nuclear battlefield.
So it continues to pour rain on our first spur here, but we're in the Desert Strike training area. And I was originally, I had a vision of putting up a drone originally and giving you guys a top view looking down, but unfortunately it's too rainy for a drone. But what I wanted to show you guys is there is scarred into the desert still are tank tracks, military tank tracks. And although I thought we might not be able to see it with the drone, check this out. We can see it because of the puddles. The puddles show these tank tracks. You can tell because Kirk is standing on, go stand on one of those. Kirk is standing on one, and you can see the other one right here. This is 12 feet apart. Those are some real tank tracks. That's pretty cool. It's wet out here. We're gonna continue on, but Desert Strike training area, you can find it in Quartzsite.
One thing that Kirk mentioned that we have to be on the lookout for is gonna be the washes. This is how those washes are formed, right? Rainy days, water flows, and depending on what we run into, it could present us not only serious challenges, but also some serious risks. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for any kind of running water, any kind of standing water, anything that could put us in a little bit more trouble than just a fun day in the rain. A mistake that I made, I'm realizing now also, this would be a warning, I guess, to everybody else that is going to be doing the Peace Trail. I brought a rain suit, I brought rain gloves, all this feels really good, but my shoes are not waterproof. And the Can-Am down there, I can feel the water soaking into my shoes. There's no doubt in my mind by the end of this trip, my shoes, my socks are going to be completely soaked with water. It's an uncomfortable feeling, so take it from me, at least pack some form of waterproof shoes or something that can go over your feet in order to keep them dry.
Look over there. Looks like all the blue skies, maybe. That would be really nice.
Ah, Kirk spots the blue skies possibly ahead.
Oh man, it's everything is made tougher in the rain, guys, everything. But we just got to our next spur here, the Bouse Fisherman, and you probably wonder what the Bouse Fisherman is. So right up the road here, we'll go take a walk and go check it out. Obviously this is another one that's better with a drone, but what we have here is going to be carved into the crust of the rock here on the surface. We're going to be having a depiction of from ancient Native Americans of a god with a spear shoving it into the earth, and from that burst the Colorado River. That was the story behind it. But we'll go take a look. We'll check it out from the ground while it's raining, and I'll see if I can't find a picture of it on Google to post so you guys can see the aerial view. What do you think about the rain so far, Dad?
It's very wet. You know, you think you're all covered in it, but there's little parts of you that get lots of wet that you don't really want to get wet.
Yeah, as I mentioned to you guys earlier, I didn't bring waterproof shoes, so I'm sitting here walking around in just wet feet, and it sucks. But like I said earlier as well, better to be here than be at work. All right, we'll catch you as soon as we make our walk down this long wet path, the longest walk of course of the whole trip. Well, this is our view of it. I can kind of make out that's his head, his arm, his foot, and that's his other foot here, and you can see that's the tip of his spear making the Colorado River. Pretty cool.
It's a good lesson for everybody watching too. If you're heading out and you know it's going to be rain, or you're trying to prepare for, oh my gosh, look at this blue sky, guys. Whoa, I did not even see that creeping in on me. Okay, we might be having a little bit of a nicer day coming. Check out the blue sky behind you right now.
Yeah, actually I saw it before.
You didn't see this? No way. Look at this thing.
Yeah, but I tell you, blue skies, man, they're coming our way. Maybe we should just wait.
Yeah, I think we're actually, at the moment, we're out of this rain cloud. We're in the process now of meeting back up with the Peace Trail after checking out the Indian god that made the Colorado River. And we got these huge puddles everywhere. Water's getting everywhere. Oh, gosh. I feel the sun, guys. I feel the sun, and it feels so good. You feel that sun?
I do.
I'm not going to take it for granted again, that's for sure.
Not unless it gets too hot.
I told you guys it was going to be wet and wild.
We are thankful the rain has officially cleared. We got the beautiful sunlight. Never thought I'd be so excited to see the sun, but we do have sunlight now, and we do have warmth. We're using the opportunity now to just dry our vehicles, dry our camera equipment. Inside our vehicle, as you can imagine, is it's just filthy. It's just muddy and soaked, and yeah, and you can imagine all the electronics we have in order to make this video series possible. So we're drying it all out, and once it's all dry, we'll be able to fly back on the Arizona Peace Trail, knock this day out. So thanks for sticking with us when it was all wet, and you know, I'm sure our production quality went down a little because of it. So let's get it on.
It's cool to see you back there for the first time since there's no dust.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. You don't get any better conditions than this, that's for sure.
Yeah, putting up with a little bit of rain for this kind of condition, oh, bitchin'. Nothing better than racing around the desert with my dad. And with the dust gone, woo, what a great day today ended up being. It was miserable to begin with, but oh man, is this perfect riding conditions now. And to be totally honest, I didn't realize how quick my dad was. He's always so far behind because of the dust, but you get rid of the dust, and I guess he's a big dog now. I probably should check the map at some point.
Yeah, go for it. You good?
Yeah, we're good. We're on the Peace Trail. Wow, would you look at that?
Wow, look at that big old tank or whatever that is. You're following the Peace Trail, so you just have to know where you're going.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. We just passed Midway, and Midway is the halfway point for the Arizona and Swansea Railroad. The railroad no longer exists. However, back when Swansea Ghost Town was an actual town and not a ghost town, the Swansea Railroad is what supplied all the people and supplies to Swansea and the ore back to the California-Arizona Railway.
What is that road going down to Swansea? That's kind of a nice little road too.
And right now where we're headed is we're headed to Swansea Ghost Town. We're just going to do a quick drive-through of it, check it out. That's going to be the second to last spur of the day.
Turn to the left up here.
Let's enter Swansea Ghost Town.
This is our old stomping ground for a couple days, huh?
So we just got to Swansea Ghost Town. We got workers' cottages in the back we're gonna go check out. But I want to make a point that says we have a video on Swansea Ghost Town. Kirk and I did it. We spent a night or two out here, and we did a deep dive into it. It's not quite the adventure like the Peace Trail one, but if you're interested on going deep into the history of Swansea and how this place ultimately rose to fame and then came crashing down, be sure to check out that video. But while we're here for now, we'll go ahead and just check out these workers' cottages, and I'll give you a quick overview of what's going on. So these workers' cottages were actually restored. You can see they have newer roofs, but all the inside, all the wood, this is all original.
Whoa, check out this piece of glass. Pretty thick glass.
Kirk is getting distracted from glass over here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Look at
cool.
that.
Yep, there's glass there. So the TLDR on Swansea is essentially there was a lot of copper here, but it was mismanaged. The guy that ran this place, he actually ran it into the ground by spending too much money on top-level surface machinery, such as the smelter, instead of the machinery that it takes to mine the copper. If you spent more time mining the copper, then this place may have been a more viable business, but
Might have survived.
ultimately that's why it failed. So anyway, yeah, this is the main part of Swansea Ghost Town. If you guys come over and check it out, be sure to check out these workers' cottages. But otherwise, this is the second to last spur, and we're going to go ahead and get back on the road and check out the very last one. I think that you'll want to stay for it.
So how's it feel going to the last spur right now, which is going to be the Parker Desert Bar?
So the question was, how does it feel?
Yeah, I'm asking you how it feels. We're going to the last spur of the whole trip.
Oh, yeah, it's actually good to know that it's the last one for the trip, because pretty much it's been a long time, but very enjoyable, and it's one of those things that I am ready for it to come to a close.
I would agree. And so far, it's been a trip of a lifetime, but one more spur will knock it out strong, which means we hit almost every single spur on the Arizona Peace Trail.
Yeah, it's been so enjoyable to do, and to know that all those spurs are out there. You're right, it's a trip of a lifetime. It's phenomenal.
So we are going to our last spur right now. We are en route to the Parker Desert Bar. We're going the back way. Be advised, there is an easier way to get to if you have a normal car, normal van. You can get to it from Highway 95. But if you have an off-road car and you want to enjoy a little bit of off-road terrain, feel free to make an adventure of it. So the Desert Bar will be closed today. The Desert Bar is only open on Saturday and Sunday through select months that don't include the summer. We're just hitting it because we want to try to hit every single spur we possibly can on the Arizona Peace Trail. The road we're on now is the main road for the desert bar from Highway 95. So the back way, it does intersect this main road here. So yeah, this is definitely a road that can be taken by pretty much any vehicle. I would say if you have a 4x4, it's going to be better obviously if it's raining or muddy, but otherwise a two-wheel drive can make this as long as you just take it easy. As you can see, the desert bar is closed, but here's some footage we took from our last video when we did the desert bar. Be sure to go back and watch that. We did a really great video for the desert bar, just completely dedicated to that, and it gives you really a lot of insight into the local area and the bar itself. But with the desert bar knocked out as the last spur, we are officially done with Spurs. And now we are going to be on our way back to the Blue Water Casino to complete our trip and drink our bumper beers.
All right, well, we just pulled into the Blue Water Casino. Our rigs are filthy, as filthy as they've ever probably been. We have a lot of cleanup to do.
7 days worth.
7 days, but this moment right now, it officially marks the end of the Arizona Peace Trail for us. We have one last thing to do, and that's to drink our bumper beers. So we're not looking forward to it, but you know what? 7 days on the trail, these beers are going to be gross, but let's do it. Go ahead and take your bumper beer, Dad.
All right.
All right, get over here. All right, what are you doing? Get over
What
here.
are you doing?
Come on, Dad, get over here. You're not even in the camera.
I know what you're doing. All right.
Oh,
here we
cheers.
go. Cheers.
Cheers to finishing the Arizona Peace Trail and inspiring whoever else wants to go off-roading and do it themselves.
Absolutely.
I'll say that was the best beer I've ever had.
Absolutely.
Best beer I've ever had, guys.
It's even wet from all the rain.
Now remember, like and subscribe. We're going to be going on a lot more adventures. This is just the beginning.